Good afternoon everybody, and welcome to the first of hopefully multiple sessions of car park mobility. Thank you for joining us, and I appreciate all of the continued support. It's great to have you guys on board with this. Whilst this virus has us all stuck indoors or isolated, I think this is a fantastic idea and a really easy way that you can use minimal equipment and get maximum results. So with this, we're going to start going through some lower back and a hip mobility. So I'm going to take you guys through a series of videos that have some really great effective stretches that are quite easy to do, and you can do it by yourself with virtually no equipment. Today all we need is two things. So first of all, and this is optional obviously, a mat. This is just going to make the ground that little bit softer for you guys and a little bit more pleasurable as you're going through those long stretches. And second of all, I recommend a foam roller. If you do not have access to a foam roller, what you can do, you can get a hard bottle, one of those big steel bottles, and wrap a towel around it. That'll act quite the same. So without talking too much further, let's get stuck in. So our first mobility exercise we're going to go through is going to be on the foam roller. We're going to do a glute mash. So in this position, I'm going to mobilize my glutes, crossing the legs over, getting the foam roller right below onto my glutes, crossing my leg over, and in this position, gently rolling backwards and forwards. We're going to hold this for 1 minute on each side, and I encourage you guys to find a spot that's a little bit sore or a little bit sticky and push into it. Also, for the duration of the stretches and for this mobility video, I encourage you guys to take all of your time to relax into the stretches. There's no pressure here. You don't need to feel as if you've got to work super hard. Just relax, breathe in through your nose, and allow your body to surrender into all these stretches. This glute foam roll mash is again targeting the glute max as well as the smaller muscle at piriformis. We have another 45 seconds in this position. From time to time in this position, also you'll notice that I rock my legs backwards and forwards. This is again because of the nature of my glutes that wrap all the way around from the outside of my hip back into the center of my body. And so to make sure you're getting the full coverage of the glute max as well as the piriformis, you guys can move up and down. Last couple of seconds. And gently swapping sides. Same thing, taking that right leg over the left and putting as much weight as you can handle into that foam roller through that glute. This is our right leg glute mash. Got another 30 seconds in this position. Our first position. Our next stretch, this is going to be a elevated pigeon stretch. This again is going to target the hip flexors as well as the IT band, which runs on the side of the leg. So in this position, we're going to start off on our left side. We're going to get that left leg as far forward as you can comfortably do. Again, not trying to force yourself into a position that you aren't able to get into comfortably. We're looking for a moderate stretch, not something that's going to blow your mind. In this position, keeping the chest nice and tall and really trying to maintain the angle of the leg. This is our second glute stretch as well as targeting our IT band. making sure that for the duration of all these stretches, really trying to relax, get comfortable, allowing your body to surrender into these positions and breathing through your nose. If at any point during this video we are addressing things that you have some questions about, or if you have any particular requests, feel free to comment or send us an inbox. We'd love to answer questions or just get as much out of this as we can. Last 20 seconds of this left side elevated pigeon pose, and we'll be swapping. Gently swapping sides. I like to go into a down dog just as a nice way to transition between. And now we're going into our right side elevated pigeon pose. During these long stretches, when I start to get uncomfortable, I find it helps me out to take my mind somewhere else. So I know it sounds like it's quite a cliche thing, but I really try to focus on the wonderful weather, that slight cool breeze, as well as really bringing my heart rate down and my breathing down, just trying to relax as much as I can, really allow my body to surrender into these positions. For myself as well, I like to put on some music, as you might notice, and in these positions, just really try focus on the music and get as much out of these stretches as we can. We have another 45 seconds of our right side elevated pigeon. Last few seconds, taking a few deep breaths, and we'll be transitioning into our couch stretch. Gently coming out of that one. So this is going to be a hip flexor stretch. If you have the option, if you are inside and you have access to a couch, by all means, put that foot up on the couch to intensify stretch a little bit. Otherwise you can do it up on the wall. I am just by myself outside, so I'm going to get into basic hip flexor stretch, and I'm going to use my opposite arm to bring that leg up for me. This is going to target our hip flexors as well as our quads. So I'm going to start in a left side pose first of all. So just let me slip at that camera a bit better. So I'm going to go left side, and if you have that mobility, I encourage you guys taking that left hand, reaching across, and deepening that stretch for a little bit. We're going to hold this for a remaining 60 seconds. Fantastic work, guys. Make sure you're breathing through your nose, staying as relaxed as you can, and allowing your body to soften in the positions. No pressure. If you fall out of it like I just did, it doesn't matter. We're doing our best. Get back in that position and stay relaxed. Last few moments in the stretch before we swap sides. Fantastic work, guys. Gently swapping sides, we're going to go into a right side couch stretch. Same position, left foot comes forward. I'm going to hold you for a minute as we're opening up that right hip flexor. If you'd like to intensify the stretch a little bit like we did on the left side, I encourage you, reach back with the same hand and we're going to pull that foot up. No pressure here, just doing your best. We have another 60 seconds in this position. Last few moments in the stretch and we're going to go forward into our double leg forward fold. Take 2 deep breaths for me. On the exhale, try to get further into that position. One more deep breath. Fantastic work. Gently coming out of that one. And we are going to do a double leg forward fold. This is primarily going to hit our hamstrings as well as our lower back and sometimes your middle back as well, around that sort of lumbar thoracic region. So in this position, no pressure, you don't need to reach straight out and grab your feet immediately. I like to grab my ankles, and as my body starts to soften, I intensify that stretch. So reaching forward, in this position, both my hands have a gentle grip on my ankles and I'm going to tuck my head down. Take some deep breaths, and as you start to soften, as you start to not have your hamstrings screaming at you so much, you can then lean forward and move those hands forward and forward and forward until you're holding onto your feet. But like I said, in these stretches, there is no pressure, you are just holding on as best as you can. If that's more or less than that, that's fantastic. We have another 60 seconds in this position. You may also feel, if you reach out for the toes and you really focus on pointing those toes towards your face a little bit, we call that dorsiflexion, you might also find an increase in your calf stretch as well as your hamstrings and your lower back. Either way, we have another 30 seconds in the stretch. Take some deep breaths, relax into it. Last few breaths, really enjoy it if you can. Reaching forward a tiny little bit. We're going to go for another 2 breaths and we're going to swap positions. Awesome. Gently coming out. We're going to go through our last stretch. This is going to be a QL foam roll. So QL are the muscles on either side of our spine and the lower back. It stands for quadratus lumborum. This muscle is responsible for that side flexion. And if you spend a lot of time sitting in a desk or driving, those sort of things, you find that these muscles get quite tight. So foam roll is going to come in and loosen those up for us. What I'm going to do, I'm going to park the roller in the middle of my back as I'm laying down, and I'm going to shift my weight all the way to the right. Again, you notice I'm going to pop up my left leg and lean all the way on the right. That's going to hit my right side. We're going to hold that for 90 seconds, and then same thing, I'm going to swap across and hit our left side. Last stretch. Enjoy this one.
We have a remaining 45 seconds in this position before we swap sides. Making sure in this position that your back is screaming at you. Fully relax, take some deep breaths, and try and allow your lower back to soften up and roll. 15 seconds and we'll be swapping sides. Awesome, mate. Swapping sides, team. Going into that left side. QL, firm roll. So I'm popping my right leg up and I'm shifting all my weight onto the left. This is our final stretch, 90 seconds. Let's enjoy it. Last 45 seconds in this position. We are done. Really relax into it, focus on yourself. Take some deep breaths and soften as much as you can. Our session is almost finished. That is us.
Fantastic work, guys. That concludes our first session. Thank you again for joining me. My name is Moose. I hope you enjoyed that. If you have anything you'd like to see out of these videos or any special requests, please tag me, put in any comments. Thank you for watching.